And I'm going to give you the breakdown here of what I got out of this chapter by writing it. And then what I didn't include in the book when I did write it, which I wish I would have included when I wrote it, okay? So check it out. First of all, success is your duty is the name of this chapter. What does that mean? It's my duty. Well, one of the great turning points in my life occurred when I stopped casually waiting for success. Even though I was working hard, grinding, I mean, I was literally I owned my own business. I was doing 250 gigs a year. I've traveled 4 million miles all over the country, back and forth. And one day I woke up and said, dude, what am I doing? What am I doing? I got some money. I have some success. What am I doing here? And I had to literally redefine. And there's been a couple of awakenings in my life. And one of them was when I realized success wasn't just about money. It was about a duty, an obligation, a responsibility. When I adopted that mantra, everything shifted. Success became an ethical issue for me, not an option for me. Success became something that was mandatory, that I had to have, much like oxygen or water or food, that, I have to have this thing called success. Now, this took a long time. Long after I was successful, did I actually understand what success was. And I write about this in this book. 17 years of formal education, 17 years of my life spent in a formal education where I went to a class every day. And I didn't learn one thing about success. There was not one course the entire time. I don't even know if success was ever mentioned in 17 years. 12 years of basic high school and then 5 years of college. And looking back, I don't know that success, the word success, was mentioned one time by one teacher or in one book. And then I realized, I'm like, wow, what do I know about success? You know, my dad died when he was 52 years old. My older brother died when he was 25. Okay? And I'm like, wow, man, these 2 and 5s are weird numbers. I actually started making up all these weird things about 2, 5. Okay, maybe I'll die when I'm 25 or 52. These became kind of like, wait a minute, what am I thinking? This is crazy. This happened to them. It's not going to happen to me. Here's what I need to tell you about success. You don't have to grow old or die to be successful. You don't need to grow old to die. Okay? You don't even need to grow old to die. You understand what I'm saying? What I mean is, I know people that are old at 25. At 18 years old, I was older than I am today at 57. You understand what that means? My ideas are fresher today. They're newer today because I'm going after success. One day I woke up to the fact that success is important, and when I woke up to that, I started having a full life. Unfortunately, that didn't happen until I was I had 2 big turning points I'll tell you about in a second. But the big one, the giant one, happened when I was 50 years old, okay? Greater quantities are necessary in your life than you are calculating. Success is your duty. You need quantities, not just qualities. How many of us were told, spend quality time with your kids, not just quantity? No, you need quantity. My kids need time with me. My wife needs time with me. My clients need time with me. To write a book needs time, right? You have to have quantities, not just quality. You also have to have quantities of products, not just quality products. Look at the great company Apple. Apple Computer did not become a great company until it had quantities of success across large product lineups. Before then, it was just a great computer company that had a 1% share of the entire world market. I don't know what their world market share is today. I know this. Their core product was computers and software. And when Steve Jobs came back to the company and said, no, we got to go broad now, that's when the iPods happened. That's when the iPhone happened. That's when iTunes happened, and his agreement with his apps. Look, some people believe a little success will make everything all right. You're wrong. You need lots of success in lots of areas in order for it to be your duty, your obligation, and your responsibility. And you're not going to get quantities of it until you make it a duty, until you make it mandatory, until you make this almost a spiritual kind of obligation. See, in my home today with my wife and my 2 children, it is preached, it is religious almost, that success is critical to our survival. Not a choice, not an option, not a maybe. Look, in my marriage, in my community, for my future, I need success. I need a lot of fuel in my tank to be able to take a trip in my car. I need fuel in my plane to make it to LA, right? I need fuel in this engine to make it through the day. I need fuel. I need to fuel my mind so I can continue to create products to be relevant, to get people's attention, and to give to the community. I'm not talking about money. Now, money's the first time I've mentioned money this time, right now. Success is my duty. Success is my obligation. Success is my responsibility, and success needs to become a priority in your family and at your office and on your team. If you're a manager running a team, this needs to be obligation, mandatory. You have to get me success. Force your people to be successful. Push them into success. They will not do it on their own. Trust me. You know why they won't do it on their own? Their parents, their teachers, the government, and the media has said, whatever. Just be normal. Just be normal, man. Just be average. Just be whatever. Now, over here at this company, it's not whatever. It's whatever it takes. Look, good parents do whatever it takes to take care of their children. Great parents force their kids to learn the things that will introduce them to the opportunities that open their life to other things, other people, other opportunities, the golf lessons, the ballet. That takes money, okay? My little girl doesn't want to do ballet. Baby, you know what? Hey, you need to change your mind about ballet, and you need to change your mind about golf, and you need to change your mind about swimming, and you need to change your mind about meeting new people, because we're going out, because success is our duty. That is preached in my household. So look, quit lying to yourself. I talk about this. This is on page 28. Title of the chapter is Quit Lying to Yourself. Success is important, okay? Success is vital. Success is necessary. Quit kidding to yourself. Quit lying to yourself. Quit justifying and making justifications why you don't have success. The turning point in your life will be when you decide this is mandatory, it's not an option. This is my duty, not a possibility. This is mine to have. People who don't get what they want always make justifications. Always. Everybody does it. You do it, I do it. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to be like, I didn't get it, so maybe I don't need it. You're going to come up with reasons why. Oh, the economy's bad. It's not the right time. I'm a startup. You know how many companies call me every day? We're in startup mode. How long are you going to be in startup mode, man? How long do you start a car? Okay? I turn the engine on or I punch the button, car starts. What do you do now? You put it in reverse or drive and you roll. You don't keep talking about starting the car. How many companies do that? I know companies been in startup mode for 5 years. Dude, you started 5 years ago. Go. Now go get success. What does that mean? That means you probably need to be in front of venture capitalists. You need to be in front of customers. You need to be ringing the cash register. Success is your duty. This is the drive in my company, okay? This is the only thing that will help you reach your goal. This is the thing that fuels the 10X action. Luck is just a byproduct of 10X action, folks. Okay? Everybody that you know that you look at as successful, that they're lucky, they're playing the game. You know? Even the guy that hits the grand slam with his eyes closed swung the bat. Okay? Did he get lucky? He swung the bat. You know, they say even a blind squirrel can get a nut. Yeah, but he was out there freaking looking for nuts. It didn't fall in his little claws. He had to go out there and scratch. Colonel Sanders pitched his idea 80 times after he was retired, used his Social Security money to pitch the Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe. 80 people told him no. Disney was laughed at for his idea of an amusement park. He went bankrupt, I think, 3 times. Look, the harder I work, the closer I get to 10X, the luckier I appear to get. Repeated success becomes a habit. Repeated success becomes a habit. It becomes a way of life. It becomes a bit of a culture, if you will. Success is a duty. It's a responsibility versus take it or leave it. See, how many of your friends do you know that are just like, whatever, take it or leave it, happens or it doesn't. They're stuck in a job, they never grow out of that job, and they grow old, and they're 30 years old, and they're old people. Look, there's no such thing as overnight success. Okay, my overnight success that people are talking about today, man, this Cardone guy's blown up. Oh yeah, 32 years it happened overnight. 32 years, 13,000 presentations, hundreds of thousands of words written, 5,000 videos all over the internet, millions of posts, articles, and that's my overnight success. Why? What drove that? In the last 7 years, okay, when I adopted 10X, when I adopted success as my duty, it was the fuel that pushed me to start going deep and wide. Look, you must demand success, not as a money thing or a fame thing, but as your duty, obligation, and responsibility. Okay, when you get to the end of this chapter, I'm going to ask you some questions. One is going to be, success should be approached as your blank, blank, and blank. What? I just told you what it was. Write in your own words how success is your duty, obligation, and responsibility. How is it? How would this be? How would you make every day success? How would you tell a customer that success is your duty, obligation, and responsibility without telling them directly? How would you write that in your blogs? How would you put that on your Facebook? How would you write it up on Twitter? How would this become the dominating force of your everyday? How do you tell your kids that success is the family's duty, obligation, and responsibility? How do you get your wife or your husband on board? How do you get your parents to adopt this concept that success is a duty, a responsibility, your obligation? Look, if you don't know the answer to that, that's why you're coming up short. That's why you're just not quite there yet, okay? This is the fuel for success. Now, I'm going to ask you to write down 2 examples in the book of how you lie to yourself every day about success. And what are 2 things that are important to you? Why can you not do without this thing called success? Look, this is a brilliant chapter in the book. It'll change your life. It's changed mine. There's been 2 major turning points in my life. When I was 25 years old and when I was 51. Okay, 25, I was broke. I'm like, I gotta have this thing. At that time, it was just money. I needed a little money and a little self-respect. And that's what I went out for every day. I'm gonna respect myself and I'm gonna get money. I'm gonna measure my self-respect on my money. But it wasn't until I was 51 years old that I realized that it's not about money and just self-respect. It's about my contribution to the world. How can I contribute to the world? How can I be an example to my church, my community, my family? How can I respect myself? I don't need Robert to respect me or my customers. How can I respect me when I go to sleep at night, put my head down on that pillow and I say, dude, I freaking cranked today. I cranked, okay? I did it right. I didn't take any shortcuts. I gave to the community. I gave more than I took. Because if you can give more than you take, you'll get more than you ever dreamed was possible.